Boom. All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to session 4 of the bird dogging. And if you made it this far, if you have been riding along since session 1, after today, you would have congratulated. You are now part of the bird dogging crew. So, congratulations. Shout out to you. Regardless if you know what you've been doing for the past 4 weeks, doesn't matter because the number one thing that you have done correctly is take action. So I want to say shout out to everybody that is joining us. I believe in proper education. I believe in doing all of the things, but more importantly, I believe in taking action because you can learn as much as you want to learn. I can teach you all the things and etc. Or if you don't take action, I mean, what good is it, right? What's the point of that? So let's get ready to get some things kicked off. Let me turn off the phones so we don't have any interruptions. Make sure we're all looking good. Let me fix this camera. So I'm gonna hit my lighting real quick. Let me see. Get my lighting to be real sexy for everybody, because I know that's what everybody likes. They like the sexiness. I've been told, Eddie, how come you're not sexy in your cameras no more? I'm just like, man, I didn't know you guys really know you guys cared that much. All right, so let's get this show started. Again, if this is your, what? There we go. If this is your first time here, welcome. We're gonna jump into it. And what we are doing is talking about bird dogging and how important bird dogging is. So we're gonna be together for the next 40, 45 minutes. I'm gonna run over a couple of things and give you guys access to a couple of more stuff. Those of you that are catching this after the fact, you still will get access to it. In fact, you guys heard me teasing a little bit about the Bird Dog Pack. You guys will get access to that as well. In fact, you'll be able to go, if you go to the website now, you won't get it. But after this is aired, by the time you're watching this again, you'll be able to go to birddoggincrew.com and you'll be able to select, give me the bird dog pack, and you'll get all the stuff, right? So we'll go over a little bit of more detail on the bird dogging pack today and get you guys all situated. Before we get started, I do want to get some feedback. Typically, people do this at the end. I want to what type of challenges that might have been happening. Sorry, cameras went out. What type of challenge they might have been having, what problems, what are you running into being a bird dog? I want to be able to make sure that as we go into this last stage here, you are able to have everything that you need. See, because bird dogging is super, super cool. And it's a great way to, I think, not just earn income, but actually like set everything up. In my opinion, you bird dog, and then the next level from bird dogging is you can become a wholesaler, or you can switch that off and you become a connector. And then if you are a wholesaler, the next session is actually you can go into becoming a investor, whether that's buy and holds or fix and flips, and all of that would work to your benefit because you would have had months of experience, years of experience working with investors who are fix and flippers, who are buy and hold, who are connectors, and you've learned how they do what they do, why they do what they do. So it absolutely is going to benefit you, right? It's like if I'm learning to play basketball and I get to learn from Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Steph Curry, hey, the odds of me coming out being a decent basketball player is much, much higher than if I'm just a guy that's like watching a YouTube video on how to dribble and then go outside and practice, right? Can we all agree that it's about being close to proximity of people who are doing what you want to do in order for you to succeed? Does that make sense for everybody? I see a bunch of head nods. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. Welcome. This is going to be dope. But again, you can unmute yourself. We're going to make this family style. Okay, it's a family night. So you can unmute yourselves or you can type in the chat question that you might have had, like, hey, what do you do when this happens or what may have you? And we'll get that answer before we get started.
Mhm.
Hey, Shirley,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
All right. One of the questions I'm getting, so I actually have YouTube running right now too. So I'm getting some. If you see me look away, I'm multitasking. Don't do this. This is horrible. Okay. But one of the questions that I have is about tracking. How do you track your deals? And we will talk about tracking tonight, especially this being session 4. It's something very, very important that I want to make sure that you guys get a amazing handle on, because if you don't track, um, you're doing the business wrong, essentially, right? If you're not tracking, you're doing the business wrong. And I'm going to break that down for you guys. So, for those of you who might be brand new, trying to get a better understanding, okay, well, what is bird dogging? I don't understand a little bit. Is it wholesaling? Is it not? Bird dogging is level 1, is what I call it. Okay, it's level 1. Has anybody here ever played video games before? Raise your hand. It's okay. It could be Mario or Duck Hunt. That's okay. I grew up on that. You know what I'm saying? Right? But imagine if we started that game and we were playing on level 99, right? Our childhood would not have been fun. We'd have been like, man, forget this. It's too difficult. It's too hard. But because we started on level 0 or level 1, it allowed us time to grow our skills and still have fun. We still enjoyed something of it. Well, bird dogging is that. It's level 1 to being a connector. It's level 1 to being an investor. It allows you time to grow your skills, build up your work ethic, build up the ability you need to be able to do more, which in turn is going to get you more value. You know what I'm saying? So that's what bird dogging is. Now, I absolutely love bird dogging because you are learning a skill. And let me be clear, this is a 6-figure skill. Bird dogging does not get a lot of love, but there's a lot of things that don't get a lot of love on purpose, in my honest opinion. For example, affordable housing does not get a lot of love. Affordable housing is something I'm very passionate about. If you guys see my buy box, if you go to chargersbuybox.com, you'll be able to see a lot of the stuff that I'm buying and holding has to do with affordable housing. Well, in the beginning, affordable housing wasn't even something that was taught or mentioned to me because it's not sexy, right? It's not marketable. Like, in fact, if you go to YouTube right now and you type in wholesaling, you will see endless amount of stuff. If you go to YouTube and you type in bird dogging, you would get maybe 2 pages worth. And I think my videos are like first page top 2 right now or something like that, right? Just because I've been putting this out. So bird dogging is a skill. It's not just hunting for scraps. You're building a six-figure skill. And that's how I got started, right? When I first started in real estate, I was bird dogging for a gentleman here in Atlanta. His name is Brandon. He, at the time, had $1 million wholesale business. At the time I connected with, it was 6-figure. And I heard about this and I was like, I gotta do something, right? I actually was driving 45 minutes there and an hour and 20 minutes back because of traffic, every single day, just to be able to bird dog and learn how he does his business. Because of that, I made money on the side. And eventually I got to the point where I was able to start wholesaling on my own. I did this, and my first wholesale transaction that I did by myself, I made 30,000. And that was it. That's what killed everything for me. It was like, they done messed up. You done showed me too much. I just did one deal by myself and I made 30 grand. It's a wrap, right? And that's exactly the same thing that I want to happen for you guys. But you got to first understand it. So if you're bird dogging, the most important thing is you have to have a game plan to get paid. You need a game plan to get paid. And this is where I want to kind of spend the heart of the session. The last sessions, I gave you guys exactly what steps you need to take. Now you need to have the game plan. And it's really break down into 3 steps. So step 1 is finding a deal, right? You have to be able to find a deal. Now, let me backtrack because I want to make sure no one's lost. These are the steps that you take after you've already found an anchor. You have to first find the anchor. The anchor is like the remote control. It's the controller in the game in order for you to play the game. If you don't have a controller, you're not playing the game, right? So you need to find the anchor, and you need to be able to get your anchor's buy box, and you guys need to have an upfront contract. I'll go over upfront contracts in just a bit. But now that you have that, now you can go with the game plan. Okay, you take these 3 steps. The first is finding a deal. There are several different places you guys can find deals. We've went over the main one that I like because it's free, doesn't take a lot of effort. But there are a couple of people who have been listening to what I've been saying in other videos, and they've been sending me deals from Zillow, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There are people that are driving for dollars. Essentially, I got a buddy of mine that was just telling me about a deal. Daniel, shout out to Daniel. What's going on? I see you in here, my guy. He was just telling me about a deal that he bird dog talking to real estate agent. Okay, so it's wherever deals are, you can bird dog. Now there are some that are free, which I highly recommend. There are some that are paid. Does paid mean better? Sometimes, not all the time. You can do drive for dollars using some of the apps that are out there. You can do things like Investor Lift. That's a platform that you can pay for that allows you to get access to a marketplace that people post leads. You can do the same thing with Deal Sauce. Deal Sauce is another app. I use Deal Sauce a lot. In fact, one of my head integrator, he's a beast at Deal Sauce, right? And Deal Sauce has where you can post deals up, and there's a marketplace you can find deals. You can bird dog there. Those are paid and there's free. All right. Now, when you are bird dogging, what you have to get good at is not finding. I got you, Giselle. The number 1 question is upfront contracts. We gain all into that tonight. The number 1 thing is you want to look for the red flags. Look for reasons to eliminate a deal. Okay, don't just scurry the internet and say, I found this deal, send it, send it, send it. No. You want to look for deals that you can say, nope, this isn't a good deal. This isn't a good deal. This is not a good deal. Why am I doing that? It's because I'm taking my anchor's buy box and I'm trying to match what works with the buy box. I'm not sending everything that's just available. I'm matching. And the reason why you guys want to match is because as you get better at becoming a bird dog, there's certain level of skills that you're going to acquire. The next is going to be vetting the deal. If you are brand new or you don't have time or don't have the ability, the first thing that you want to do is just match the criteria so that it's exactly what your anchor is looking for. The second thing you want to do as you develop skills and your anchor, some of you have already spoken to me on deals that you sent my way, and I've coached you through, hey, this is what this is. This is why this isn't good. This is why this is great. I'm coaching you through so that you can start to develop skills that helps you find comps, finding ARVs, estimated repairs, being able to figure out what the exit strategy can be. If you're just bird dogging for an anchor and you're not learning anything, great. You get to make money, but you're going to be stuck there. And I don't want anybody working for me, with me, alongside of me that is stuck because they do not have the knowledge. I want to teach you exactly how to be able to get to the next level. And at that point, you could decide if you want to start your own business or, hey, I just want to keep working with you because now I get to just do my little part, let you do all the heavy lifting, and I can go live my life or do my work or do everything that I need to do. Okay. So step 2 is vetting the deal. Very important. You want to vet the deal. And then the third is you want to submit the deal. What's up, Ray? You want to submit the deal. Okay. You want to submit the deal. And when you're submitting a deal, this is important. I'm gonna share my screen so I can show you guys really quick. You want to submit the deal. You want to make sure there's certain key pieces of information that you guys are putting into the deal. Some of you are sending me deals, and I spoke with one of my guys. His name is Hold on, let me make sure I got him on here. Yes, okay. So I spoke to Michael, and shout out to Michael. We did a contest. He's first place in the contest. He's already submitted over, he's submitted 5 times over the amount that everybody else was supposed to submit last week. So we'll go over that in a second, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean here about how to submit a deal. So when you submit the deal, you can do it 2 ways. The first way you could do it is by simply submitting a link. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull up the address and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. Now, is there a wrong way to submit a deal? Yes. The only wrong way to submit a deal is if you submit a deal and it's not on your anchor's buy box. There's nothing worse than submitting a deal to a anchor and there's absolutely nothing there, right? Like that's the worst. So let me show you what I mean. So here is, let's go to share screen. Where are you, share? A little more. Share screen, bada bing, bada boom. Okay. All right, so here we go. So you guys should be seeing my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Just unmute or type something in the chat for me so I know we all good. Or give me some thumbs up if you can see my screen. I see some.
We can see it.
All right, perfect. So this is a lead. Now, did he do anything wrong here? Right? It's a link from Facebook, so he sent me the link. Here's the challenging part with this: when you're sending a deal over, there's things you want to make sure that you send. The first thing that you want to make sure that you send is obviously the address. Check. The address is there. I see the address. The second thing you want to make sure that you send is link to photos. Now, I'm assuming when I click this, there's going to be photos that pops up. Okay. I'm assuming. Why did I say that? Because sometimes when you go to some of these Facebook pages or marketplaces, they'll have no pictures or they have one picture. So it's limited information that we're getting from that. Okay. The next thing is any quick notes. Right here, there are no quick notes. Now, when I go to this lead, these notes, do they belong to Michael? Do they belong to whoever posted this thing up?
We'll post it.
And there's really no notes here. There's some description. They got a little bit here. Okay. This tells me a little bit about the house. Okay, cool. But that's it. I don't have no other detail. The next thing is any seller motivation. Is there any information here about the motivation of the seller? Absolutely not, right? So is this a bad way to send I mean, he did it. He sent the lead over. This is great. Now, because I want you guys to do better and to grow, the proper way to do it, and I'm going to show you guys here, is going to be like this. I'm share my screen again, and this is actually Michael. We actually had a conversation a little bit earlier, and so I was kind of giving him some heads up on how to do better, because that's what we do, right? That's what we're supposed to do. It's what we're going to keep doing. All right, so you guys should be seeing this now. Now, this is a little bit different. We like this, right? We see the address. We see status is vacant, details on the house. We see the link to the pictures. Is this the best? No. But is it better than what we got before? Yes. Is that making sense? Now, what could have been the best out of this is if he had any information on the seller motivation, or if he had put any information on any quick notes. Now, the quick notes section is just whatever you think about this deal. It don't even have to be about the deal. I spoke to the person who posted this, and they said it was still available. And they said I asked about seller motivation. They told me mind my damn business. That's enough information, right? Why am I doing this? Because if you're just a bird dog who can just find a deal and send it, you have value. But if you're a bird dog that can start to have preliminary conversations, start to analyze and think the way that your anchor thinks about if this is going to make money or not, your value goes up, which means your fee can go up, because how much you get paid should be a direct correlation to the value that you give. Deals that people send me where they have a full submission of like, here's what the deal is, here's the location, here's who I spoke to, I verified the numbers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those deals, I'm looking at those emails first all day, every day, because it's less work that I have to do on the preliminary front. Okay, so those are the 3 steps that you got to make sure that you do. After you find your anchor, you have your upfront contract. Step 1 is you find a deal. You can do free or you can do paid. Step 2 is you vet the deal. You match it, make sure you find comps, estimated repairs, figure out the exit strategy. Now, what if I don't know how to do any of those stuff? Perfectly fine. Send the deal over and you'll start to learn as my team or myself go back and forth with you and tell you, hey, here's what I'm seeing. All right. And then submit it. Now, currently right now, you guys are submitting everything through the email. As this is progressing, we're going to have you actually submit it on our form, our database, which would be perfect because your name will be attached to it as soon as you submit it. And you'll be able to get a response back on, here's what's going on, here's the details. We're actually going to even set it up where you can even have like a Calendly link where we'll jump in and you can have time to talk to me or my underwriters to be able to say, hey, here's what's going on with this deal. All right. Now, one thing you guys got to know is when you are, all right, so I see questions here. I love this. All right, so dead deals are great. So let me see where this is at in the thing. Upfront contracts. Okay, so let's talk about it now. Let's talk about tracking your deals, and we'll go, this is going to lead right into dead leads. I want to talk to you about tracking your deals. It is important, like very, 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 very important that you guys are tracking your deals. Do not just send a deal over via email or when we get the website and it's just like, okay, cool, I sent it over. You need to track your deals. You need to have an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet that is where you can put in, here's the property, address, and all the details that allows you to be able to know what you sent and when you sent it. Now, you guys don't have to do all the work because I have that form already for you in the Bird Dog pack, but obviously I'm going to talk about it now so you know, okay? Another thing is we're going to look at the upfront contracts, and I'm just going to show you guys what a standard upfront contract can look like, and then you can change it around to whatever you want. I will put both the PDF version of this and the regular form as a Google Doc for you to make any changes that you want. Okay. Now, let's jump into tracking. When you're tracking, there's a couple things you want to track. You want to be able to track. Let me see if I can just pull this up for you guys. You want to be able to track the property address. You want to track the date that you submitted. You want to track the source. Where did you get this lead from? Facebook, Craigslist, an agent you spoke to, a wholesaler. You want to put that down and you want to put who owns the contract. I'm here to tell you guys right now. Look at my face. Come close. Okay. You want to find out who owns the contract. It is extremely difficult to do a deal as a bird dog if you don't know who's the right person to talk to. What if you're talking to someone who acts, you had no idea, but they're actually not the contract holder. They're the third person who's trying to sell the deal. Well, when I say, hey, we got the money, we're ready to buy this deal, can you get me in front of the person? I need the contract. You're going to have a hard time now trying to get a hold of this. I have a wholesaler guy who does great. I'm talking about he sends me every and all deals. His number one flaw is he wholesales so much and none of them are his own deals. He has a hard time getting access to who has the contract. If we've done about 20 deals together. We could have done, I lie to you guys not. We could have done 60 easy, but he's having a hard time getting. So do that in the beginning when you first seal a deal, or you reach out to somebody, find out, hey, do you own this? If they start asking you questions, just let them know, hey, I'm a bird dog. I'm working for Eddy Charger. He's legit. Here's his website. Here's his Instagram. Here's his YouTube page, etc. I just need to know if you're direct, or if you're not, who is direct, because if he says check mark this is everything that's on my buy box, I'm ready to buy, we can't have any delays. No one who's serious is going to have a problem with that. Okay. Now, the other thing that you want to be able to track is you want to put, the email address that you send it to, which obviously is going to be, my email address, or if you submitted it to the web link. And you want to put down, the last thing you want to make sure that you put down is, when did you get the deal from the person? Now, here's why you want to track it. How many people here know how many deals, if you have 10 deals in 1 month that goes on the contract, how many people here can guess how many of those deals, using the law of numbers, actually closes? Type it in the chat. How many actually close? All right, I see 3, I see 1. Okay, on here I'm seeing 10. Okay. Whoever said 10 on YouTube, I need you to come on my team. We can have a talk so I can see what you're doing. You must be 1, 1, 1. Okay. So the answer is 3. On average, if you have 10 deals on the contract, only 3 will close. The others will not close because of several different reasons. The seller backs out. The buyer backs out. There's something wrong with the title paperwork, right? So it's gonna have to get pushed back, or it's so many different reasons things can change. It's crazy. We had a deal that was getting ready to close. A week before closing, there's a bankruptcy issue, and the seller just loses it. We can't move forward, right? There's all types of reasons why something doesn't close during the time it's supposed to close. There are people who have deals that don't close, and they break down at the closing table. The day you're supposed to close, the buyer and the seller get into an argument. Guess what? Deal is gone. Yeah, Jay Black said it happens to me. This is the reality, guys. This is not what you're seeing on your YouTube, right? They're not telling you all this. When they show you oh, I just closed another deal, 100K or 20K or whatever the number is, they're not telling you how many of those deals did not close. I want you guys to be prepared. I want you to have proper expectations, because only having proper expectations is how you succeed in this life, especially in this game. So I'm saying all that to tell you, when you have people who are sending you deals, or you're finding deals and you're sending them over, especially if it's a deal that doesn't work for my buy box. If it's a deal that I say, hey, listen, this is not one that works for my buy box because they want too much for it. If we can renegotiate on the price, or we can renegotiate on the creative terms, maybe we can do it. You follow back up with them. They say no. Cool. What you want to do now is you want to track that lead. The reason why you want to track it is because, remember, I told you 7 of those deals are not going to close. When they don't close, do you think the seller is going to re-sign another agreement with the same person? No. And here's the kicker. Especially if it doesn't close because the property was under contract for too high, you now know what the price should have been. Why? Because your anchor told you, this is what I would pay for this property. So now what you can do is, you have 2 options. You can either skip trace the property yourself, call the seller and say, hey, I have a buyer that's willing to buy your property at this price. Or you can say, hey, Eddy, I'm sending you this deal. They're out of contract. I can look on Zillow. It says it's no longer in contract. I think they might be interested. can you have your team skip trace this lead, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when you guys track your leads, it's also important because that's how we verify. When we get a lead from you, we know who you are, your email and your name and everything. But if somebody else sends me that same lead, well, you have proof of when you sent it to me, when you got the lead and those dates, and I have proof based off of my email system and my actual database. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to wrap this up. Let me show you guys the bird dog agreement. This is super important. All right, so this is the bird dog agreement. This is extremely standard, you guys. I did not do anything special on this, and you want to keep it that way. Do not have somebody trying to sign a 15-page agreement with you for bird dogging. Guys, we're not doing brain surgery or anything. It's not a multi-million-dollar contract. It's very simple. I'm going to find deals for you that fit your buy box criteria. If I do, you will pay me. Yes, yes. Okay, let's sign this paper so that we're all covered. That's it. And that's basically what this is, right? Telling you that the bird dog is acting as a connector, not a broker, agent, or partner, and will not be involved in any negotiation or closing a transaction. This protects you heavily. And then here, compensation, which is what a lot of people want to know. This is where you choose. You can say flat fee, or you can say a percentage, or you can do a profit or assignment, any of these things. Now, if you want, you can change anything that you see in here for your benefit. It's not a problem. And then here, you want to put the process, and you want to put exactly what that is, right? Now, obviously, this is a standard one. The one that I have, the one that I'm going to send you guys in the Bird Dog pack is going to have a lot more of the details of what we talked about when I said, you know, put your notes and et cetera, because I want you guys to do better. So that's how we're going to do it. All right. Now, this is not a partnership. You want to put that on there because if something goes wrong, you don't want no parts of that, right? You bird dogging. You don't have a business that is allowing, you know, you to make different decisions and et cetera like that. So you want to make sure that you're clear, like, hey, this is not a partnership. How do we decide what the fee will be? The fee is going to be dependent on what value you brought. So any bird dog is typically going to get paid anywhere from $500 to $10,000. How you decide what level you should be is how much value did you bring? $10,000 is basically like you wholesale the deal. You assigned the whole deal. You spoke with the seller, you negotiated, you did everything. You just said, hey, Eddie, here's the deal at the price you want, in the location you want. I want 10K. Can that work for you? You deserve it. How much work am I doing? I'm basically just showing up to the closing table, right? Now, if you did none of that, if you said type, address looks good, enter, send it over, and I'm saying, okay, cool, we're going to buy this deal. We're going to send you $500 for that. And you go, well, I think I deserve 10K. Okay, I like it. Tell me why. Show me where the value is that deserves that. So that's how that works, okay? You are the only person I saw with these, and I've sent multiple deals that people say that they underwrite but never responded back. Yeah, I don't know, Rudy. It happens, bro. Like, I mean, even in my business, it happens, right? I try to do my best to make sure that at least when you send me something, I can respond back in 24 to 48 hours. Also, you have direct access to me, and I have a solid team that is like hungry, like they're quick to jump on anything that we put in front of them. So, you know, it could work. Yeah, this contract is something that, you know, I just put together just so I can be able to show you guys. But you can create any contract. Remember, a contract is nothing more than something that two parties have agreed to. That's it, right? And again, you guys will get this when you go to Bird Dogging Crew, and I'll put that all in the chat and stuff like that, so you guys will be able to see it. And I'll make sure that you guys, if you registered for this live, you're covered. You're going to get an email with everything, the whole pack sent to you, so you'll be fine. All right, let me go back because we had another question here. I want to make sure I'm respectful of you guys' times too. All right, I've connected with an anchor direct seller offload portfolio in Texas. I don't know how to ask for JV agreement because He said he'll share concept based on if the deal makes sense. Okay, so yeah, if I like that, if the deal makes sense. But so now this is how you respond to that. Just say, hey, okay, well, listen, pretend with me for a second. If the deal does make sense, at least give me a range of what I can expect to get paid. Right? You have to have some form of idea. You can't just be like, well, I'll pay you. I just don't know yet. All right, well, is it $1? Is it 10? Like, because you can choose to bring this to anybody that you want to. So I would do it that way. J-Bex, I just had an agent call me in Georgia for listening. It's about to go. Yeah, let's go, bro. Send it over to me, man. Or if you need help, if you want to take the deal down, if we have bird dogs that want to take deals down themselves, I'll help you take a deal down. Absolutely. I'll even bring funding to it if you need it. All right, my issue is always 70% of the ARV. That's why we bird dog. Send a deal over, and when we send back what we like, what we don't like, we'll help you. We'll walk you through the math so you can start understanding it from standpoint of an experienced investor, so you don't have to try to figure it out yourself. All right. Upfront contract. So this right here is the upfront contract, right? This is exactly what you want to be able to do. Have the conversation before you send any deals. Don't make this a long conversation. Don't be like, all right, let's get on a Zoom call. And I look on a Zoom call, it's an hour long time frame. That's like, what? Why? Why are we doing this? It should be a 5 to 10 minute conversation. Hey, this is what I'm looking to do. I want to work directly for you. Are you good with that? All right. All right. We got through that. This is dope. I'm loving this. Now, let me make sure I get to the last stage really quick. The last stage, the last thing I want to go over in the last couple of minutes is this. All right. So again, in the Bird Dog pack, you guys are going to get a bunch of stuff. But you guys want to know what is the exit path. I talked about it. You go from Bird Dog to being a connector, or for a Bird Dog to being a wholesaler, and then you build your wholesale operation, or you can become a full-time connector like myself. Essentially, you position yourself to be able to get more checks, more opportunities, all those things. Bird dogging is just the beginning. You're building the foundation for your freedom. You're building the foundation to create your freedom through your network. And this is one of the reasons why I love Bird Dog. Now, this is going to take a lot of action, a lot of activity, a lot of energy. Do you need to do this all day? No, please don't do this all day. All right. JJ call. Yeah, for sure. Rudy, you can hit me up. Do you and this is for anybody else too that might be watching. If you guys need something, this is the email right here. And also you can go to the website, chargersbuybox.com. My information is on there too. And if you need lending, it's capitalinvestmentpod@gmail.com. Okay. So you guys want to be able to do a couple of things here. Take massive action. Next month, we're going to be doing, and I'll do a whole call. I think out of the competition that we did last week, there was Michael and 2 other people who stood out from submitting 10 deals or more. And so they're going to be part of the team. Yeah, Q, you in there. I saw you. So they're going to be part of the team that we're going to be working closely with. I'm looking for 2 more people. So it's going to be 5. And then we're going to invite everybody. So we're going to do what's called the Bird Dog Challenge. We're going to knock it out for 30 days, bird dogging, and making sure that everybody wins. All right. So if you guys need something, please hit me up. I put my information there. For sell by owner and realtor listings, absolutely. We bird dog. We're knocking them all down as long as they hit the buy box. All right, that's it. I said I want to do 45 minutes with you guys. That's all the time. If you need more access, definitely reach out to me. I love y'all. Stay charged up. And remember, go forth, do great things in this world, and one day pay it back to somebody who's just starting off as well. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, Eddie.